There's been a major rise in the VTuber scene, but you may be asking, what does this have to do with the Steam Deck? That's right, I'm VTubing on my Steam Deck, right here, right now. For those of you who are unaware, I do occasionally moonlight as a VTuber, but I don't really stream that often, so that's kind of a moot point. Whatever the case may be, I am a VTuber, so I can talk about this. One of the big requirements, or so-called requirements that you need to be a VTuber is the fact that you need a beefy gaming rig. A beefy gaming rig to run, all sorts of applications, anything from OBS all the way down to specific VTubing applications. And I will admit, I do have quite a beefy PC. It's definitely not state of the art anymore, but you know what? It cost me a pretty penny to pay for this crap, okay? But the more interesting prospect to me is whether or not you can VTube on the Steam Deck effectively. Now hear me out. You're not going to be able to VTube and play games at the same time on the Steam Deck. That's probably impossible. Now, I can't speak to making 2D models because I've got no artistic talent after all, but creating 3D models, well, you can run VTube Studio on the Steam Deck. VTube Studio is marked as unsupported for a reason. Y'all want to take a guess as to why it's unsupported? Well, you know what? I'll tell you why. Valve will mark software titles as unsupported, and it's not supported on Steam Deck, meaning Valve won't do anything to make it run better if it doesn't run. But joke's on Valve. It runs perfectly. See, Valve is so transparent about their reasoning as to why they marked VTube Studio as unsupported. Why not the other games that actually work on Steam Deck that are marked as unsupported, huh? Anyways, I am not about to make a VTuber from scratch on the Steam Deck. That is way too much work for the Steam Deck. I would prefer to do that on keyboard and mouse, and I've already done so on my desktop. We're gonna load up Model B because I believe that's the most popular model they have available. You have access to loads of functions, everything from the outfit to the body style, hairstyle, outfit, accessories, eye colors, the whole shebang. You have access to basically everything. Of course, if you want to go all out, you will need to use a couple of external utilities for better ease of use. Like if you want to make your own textures, you'll probably want to do that in GIMP or Photoshop or something like that. If you want more accessories or more things to add to your character that aren't available, you can either design your own using an external program, or you can download them from booth.pm. You also have access to all of the posing functionality and, screenshot functions in case you want to make some nice screenshots. It's pretty laggy, but this is the Steam Deck. It's not a super duper high-end gaming PC. And you're not limited to this resolution. You can take photos as big as you'd like. Here, I'm going to take an 8K photo because I can. And yes, these 8K photos save on Steam Deck just fine. Look, see? You can even name it too. We're just going to name it 99999, and that'll be the end of it. But this doesn't really address the hard part. VTubing on the Steam Deck itself. What the heck am I supposed to do with that? VTube Studio surprisingly works pretty well on Steam Deck. However, Linux really does not like my webcam, so I resorted to using my phone's front camera for this part, which is a very neat feature that VTube Studio has, though if you want to use it for longer than 5 minutes or so, you will have to pay up. The only issue with this is if you don't have your own live 2D model, and those can get really freaking expensive.
I paid about maybe I would say it's about 1,700 now because I got it re-rigged.
Of course, 2D models aren't always so expensive, especially if you know a few people, or you can draw yourself. But what about those of us running 3D models? My VTubing application of choice is VTube Face. It's definitely a Windows exclusive app. Thankfully, Lutris has an installer for VTube Face right here. It sets up everything including all of the libraries and all that stuff that you need to run VTube Face on your Steam Deck. So there you go, an easy way to run your 3D VTuber models on your Steam Deck, right? Well, it ain't so easy. Well, you see, after selecting my VTuber model, I think my Microsoft webcam isn't really up to the task, especially not on Linux. Like when I select my camera settings, it shows 0.3 FPS. So yeah, this stupid fucking webcam is total dog shit, but even worse on Linux, really. If I had a better webcam that worked on Linux, I bet you this wouldn't be a bad experience whatsoever. You also have to consider the Steam Deck gets really loud and really hot while running this application. Of course, obviously the best solution would be to use a capture card with a DSLR. Like, you can plug this Narvitech into your Steam Deck directly. All I need is a DSLR, and I'll have a pretty decent experience. So what did we learn today? You can VTube on the Steam Deck, but with like a million different asterisks attached to it. If you wish to directly support high-tech lowlife, you should check out the link in the description below for our Patreon page. And if you like this video, you should give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. And if you want, you can also join my Discord server. As always, links in the description down below for all of this.